Woohoo! Congratulations. Your business is creating a profit, right? If it's not, you might want to check out some videos I did below about how rich women profit first, and also managing your cash flow so that you are creating that profit. So if we haven't met before, my name is Heidi, and I'm one of the co-founders here inside Truth Bomb Academy, where we are helping busy women, because who's in busy, right? Create that time and the profits and the fun in their business again, all while they are also creating more time for do the things that they're passionate about. We are passionate about our business, but we don't want to spend all our time creating our business, right? We're creating our business for a purpose, to spend more time with our family, our friends, our hobbies. That's what we're doing here. If you haven't checked out Unlocking My Millions already, the link is down in the description. You don't want to miss out, and I'll go more into that in a little bit. If your business is now creating profits because you've set up that system, you're telling your money where to go, whether you're bringing in $100 a month or you're bringing in $50,000 a month, you can realize that profit. Okay, so now what do we do with that profit, right? I was listening to a video earlier today, and I actually don't remember what the video was about, but down below, one of the comments struck me. One of the comments was like, I'm not gonna, it's a Dave Ramsey video, okay? If you haven't heard of Dave Ramsey, check him out. He's fantastic. He's got some great financial advice. But if you, this person commented, I never follow Dave Ramsey's advice because businesses are made to be built on debt. You keep your debt so that all of your profit goes to decrease your debt. So therefore you're not realizing any profit and not paying any taxes. Wow. That was like, all I could think in my head was this, like, well, I'll see you in bankruptcy. Well, I mean, you might wind up in bankruptcy court someday, and I don't want to be there. So really, debt is destabilizing your business. It's creating a business on a very slippery foundation. There's no sustainability to that. It's like you're constantly, you have the stress of creating the income just so you can pay your debt. How kind of fun is that? That's not fun. Quite frankly, I'm going to put a plug in for this book. If you want a better tax strategy for reducing your debt, the tax code was actually created for businesses, right? We all know this. It is a tax code is the benefits of the businesses. If you're a W-2 employee, you have very little tax deductions to take. But as a business, many. And if you actually read this book and you have an accountant who works with you, not all accountants will. I love accountants. I've worked with some fantastic accountants, but some of them don't want to think outside the box. This book will help you to actually bring up that conversation with your accountant. Know what to ask for, know what to look for. It's a fantastic book. We'll have the link down in the description. But for a tax strategy that doesn't involve just staying in debt, check it out. We don't want to stay in debt, but sometimes we have incurred debt, especially when we first start our business. So what do we do with our profits? One thing you're taking a percentage of your profits, and I'm going to just say 5%, okay? Depending on your business, the size of your business, that number could be different. And here inside Truth Bomb Academy, we actually help women to set that up for what is appropriate for their business. Because every business is going to need different things, right? So what do we do with those profits? We take 5%, and what do we do with them? So I'm gonna have an example here. We're gonna start with a company that is bringing in $10,000 a month on a regular basis, okay? So if you're taking 5% profit, that's $500 a month, right? And so we actually look at our profits, or we realize our profits, every time we bring it in, but quarterly is when we distribute our profits, right? Ideally, in a healthy business, you're going to take 50% of your profits and give it, and the owners get to take it home, do whatever they want with it. Possibly go on a business trip, take your whole company and go on a business trip, go to that convention that you've really been wanting to go to, go on, just go somewhere fun, or go out for a fancy dinner, whatever, or each one just takes it home and does what they want to do with it. The other 50%, you're going to take it and you're going to put it in retained earnings. That is basically an account that you're going to keep. Every business wants 3 to 6 months reserve for their operating expenses. Whatever your operating expenses, multiply that by 3, multiply that by 6. Depending on your company, 6 months is not really realistic, but 3 months should definitely be, because that's a quarter. So basically, if your sales dipped and you're working on creating more sales, you're doing you're actually going to do what your business needs to get it back up to what it goes. But every company has some dark days. Every company is going to ebb and flow in your sales. So the retained earnings is there so that you don't go out of business during that time. And there has to be rules set up for when you access those retained earnings. Retained earnings is an accounting term. Actually, it's basically a separate account where you're keeping your profits so that as an emergency fund. That's another word for it. But a business term is retained earnings. So that's what you ideally want to do with your profits. Now, if your company is in debt already, you want to get out of debt. And so you're actually going to take that profit, and depending on your business, you almost want to take 99% of that profit and knock out that debt. Get that debt knocked out. Take 1% and give yourself a bonus, because we want to get into that habit of having that bonus, having that treat, having that, it's like, wow, my company made money. And this isn't your pay. This is not your owner's compensation. That is actually out of your operating, that's part of your operating expenses. You keep that over there. You're paid out of your business, but this is actually the profit. At the end of the year when your accountant's like, hey, look at how much profit you're made, and you're like, where'd it go? I never saw it. We're going to see it. We're going to realize it every quarter. And because we're taking control of our money and we're telling it where to go, we are managing. We have a cash management system that is effective, it's working, and it's going to make a successful and sustainable business. And if you need help personalizing that for your business, we do that with our women here inside Truth Bomb Academy. Like I said, check out the link below for that. Unlocking My Millions. You definitely want to be a part of it. If you have debt, you're going to take, so if you have debt, like we discussed, we have $1,500 per quarter that's going into, that is our profit. And so if you have debt, you're going to take $1,485, knock out that debt, get rid of it. And that 1%, that $15 is yours to go do whatever you want with. Now, this is based on a business that's bringing in $10,000 a month. Those are things that you can do with your profit. Now, as your company grows, there's going to be other needs and other things and that's how you have to look at those numbers and evaluate. And so every quarter, I encourage you to meet with your accountant, meet with your bookkeeper, and you look at those percentages and you increase or decrease different percentages depending on the needs of your business. If your business is not providing that type of income or that type of profit that you want to in your business, it's like, or it is creating profit, but you're still not feeling fulfilled in your business. I heard something this week, or you're feeling overwhelmed in your business, which, it's like so many times that has happened in the past. But I heard something this week that was extremely profound. And I was like, all the world that we have created, inside the business world that we have created, that we have become a part of, that we are trying to make our way in, the business training that we've received. It's like, oftentimes I've heard women use this term called imposter syndrome. I feel like an imposter. I feel like I'm trying to prove to people who I am, but yet maybe I'm not there yet. Maybe I'm not where I want to be in my business, but yet I have all the knowledge, but I feel like an imposter because it doesn't always feel authentic to me in what I'm doing or how I'm doing it. Well, ladies, what I heard this week was, stop saying that. Stop using that, because you're part of a world that was not created for you. Think about that. Who created the business world? Who created the business training? Men did. And nothing against the men. I'm glad that they gifted the knowledge to us. They shared this world with us. But it was created by men for men, with men's needs and desires in mind, not women's. And so women, we are actually recreating this world, right? We are reimagining what it looks like for women to be in business. And so as women in business, it's like, when you feel inauthentic, when you feel like an imposter, just think about it's because I'm in a world that wasn't made for me. But it can be. Your business can be. you recreate that world for you. And that's what we're helping women do here inside Truth Bomb Academy. In Unlocking Your Millions, we are taking women through creating their business, whether they've been in business for 10 years or you're just starting your business. How do you create that business so that you love it? It doesn't overwhelm you. It breathes life into you instead of draining life out of you. How do you do that? It's amazing. The women in here are thriving. And it's like, so I invite you, check out the link down below for Unlocking My Millions. Join us in Truth Bomb Academy and Unlocking My Millions as you will create that business that is fit for you. See you on the inside.